No, it would not be unusual for an INFP to be critical of the education system. INFPs are often highly idealistic and value personal growth and individuality. They are also highly intuitive and attuned to their own emotions and the emotions of others. As a result, they may be critical of educational systems that they see as being too rigid or focused solely on academic achievement rather than personal development and creative expression. INFPs are also known for their desire to help others and their sensitivity to social issues. They may be critical of educational systems that perpetuate social inequality or fail to address the needs of marginalized groups. Additionally, as perceiving types, they may be open to questioning and reevaluating established systems and traditions, including educational ones. Overall, it would not be surprising for an INFP to be critical of the education system and to advocate for alternative approaches that prioritize creativity, individuality, and social justice. An education that is suitable for an INFP would prioritize personal growth, creativity, and individuality. Here are some key features that might be appealing to an INFP. 1. Emphasis on self-expression. INFPs value creative expression and may thrive in an educational environment that encourages them to express their thoughts and feelings through art, writing, music, or other forms of self-expression. 2. Opportunities for reflection. INFPs tend to be introspective and value time for reflection and contemplation. An education that includes opportunities for self-reflection, such as journaling or meditation, may be especially appealing to an INFP. 3. Collaborative learning. Although INFPs tend to be introverted, they also value connection and may enjoy learning in groups or with a partner. Collaborative learning can help INFPs feel more engaged and can allow them to share their unique perspectives with others. 4. Personalized learning. INFPs are often highly individualistic and may benefit from an educational approach that allows them to learn at their own pace and according to their own interest. An education that includes personalized learning plans or allows students to choose their own projects and assignments may be a good fit for an INFP. 5. Focus on social justice. INFPs tend to be highly empathetic and care deeply about social justice issues. An education that includes opportunities for community service or activism may be especially fulfilling for an INFP. Overall, an education that values personal growth, creativity, individuality, and social justice is likely to be a good fit for an INFP. Yes, INFPs tend to be highly self-directed in their learning and may often educate themselves on topics that they find personally meaningful. INFPs are driven by their inner values and ideals and they tend to be highly motivated to learn about topics that align with those values. INFPs are also natural learners, and they tend to be curious about a wide range of topics. They may enjoy exploring new ideas and perspectives, and they may be drawn to unconventional or alternative sources of information and knowledge. Because INFPs value personal growth and development, they may seek out opportunities for self-education and may be motivated to pursue learning experiences that are not necessarily part of a formal education system. They may also be drawn to online communities or groups that share their interests, as this can provide a sense of connection and support. Overall, INFPs are likely to be self-motivated learners who seek out knowledge and information that aligns with their values and interests. I did a philosophy degree. Useless. But it taught me a lot of things, and it helped me in the long run. Most of that was through online education. They would send me the books and I would do the work. And at times I did go into the school, but most of it was online. Most of my both of my degrees and most of my diplomas and certificates were done online, and I much prefer online education. I like to get a task and then contemplate that task and then do it. And now with ChatGPT, it would have been so much easier. My life would have been so much easier if I had ChatGPT during my philosophy degree. But you work with what you have, and my education experience hasn't been good because the teachers don't care about the student, and they don't care about my interest in how I'm directed and where I'm going in life. And I find that because they don't care about my interest, they can't really help me. So education's always been a hard part of my life because the educators were never doing what I thought was the best way to do it. And I got a postgrad qualification in education as well as a degree in philosophy, and I got lots of certificates and diplomas. But that was my experience with education, which I wanted to be an educator, I wanted to be, if I couldn't be a philosophy professor, I wanted to be a teacher, and now I can't be a teacher anymore. But that's all right. I can impart my knowledge on the internet, and that's kind of like educating, because what I'm doing here is teaching you how to educate yourself, because if you grabbed a camera and you started doing this, then you could see how rewarding the experience is and how much it makes you grow. So I really recommend doing that. And that's what all my work has pretty much been saying, is grab a camera and start recording, and record all the things that you want to include in your education, and make your recording of life your education. I like the idea of online education a lot better than going into a school. With online education, you're safe, and as America has shown us, with going into a school, you're not safe. And not only that, you have bullies, and that makes it not safe. So some people don't want to go to school because they get picked on or they don't like their classes or something like that. And having an online option for them to take instead of going to school, even in K through 12, should be something available to the student. I do like the idea of all the kids coming together and socializing, because in school is when you really socialize the most and you're introduced to lots of different groups and you have to work out where you fit in. And for some people, especially INFPs, that can be a hard thing to do, to fit in. But just the fact that it puts you together with a lot of other people to socialize you, I think the socialization thing is a good thing, because you get opportunities in school because of your social network that you don't get in life. In life, your social network dwindles down and you end up just having a few people usually who you can rely on. And in school, you have lots of people to choose from, so I do like the social aspect of it. But for INFPs, it can be really hard because we're introverted and we don't fit in, and no one's talking about the things that we're interested in. We can feel quite isolated in an education system. Yes, INFPs may be prone to feeling isolated in education systems, particularly if the system places a strong emphasis on conformity, competition, or a narrow definition of success. INFPs tend to value personal growth and authenticity over external achievement, and they may feel disconnected or out of place in educational environments that prioritize conformity and academic performance. INFPs also tend to be introverted, which means that they may feel drained or overwhelmed by too much social interaction, especially if the interactions are superficial or do not align with their values. This can make it challenging for INFPs to build connections with their peers or to feel like they belong in an educational setting. Additionally, INFPs may have a tendency to question established systems and traditions, which can sometimes put them at odds with the expectations of their teachers or peers. This can create feelings of isolation or frustration, particularly if INFPs do not feel like they have a supportive community that shares their perspective. However, it is important to note that not all INFPs will feel isolated in education systems. Some may thrive in environments that encourage personal growth and creative expression, or in communities that share their values and interests. With the right support and resources, INFPs can find ways to navigate educational systems and build connections with others who share their perspectives. My philosophy degree was a good experience for me, although it took me 10 years to complete it, and it was really hard. I don't have any friends from my school days. I always dreamed of a game that was an online university, so you could take whatever classes you wanted and then learn from them. That would be a pretty cool game, but that would be a really big game because you would have lots of classes, so that would have to be done by a AAA gaming studio, so we're limited to what they'll do with the technology, which unfortunately I don't think they have education in mind, at least not currently. I didn't have good enough grades in my philosophy degree to do honors, so the pathway to becoming a professor, a philosophy professor, was closed to me because I didn't have good enough grades, which kind of sucks, but that's not what I want to be anyway. What I always wanted to be was a filmmaker. That's what I'm doing, and all of my dreams in the past just directed me to where I am now, and now I'm doing what I love doing. Something I really loved from my philosophy degree, though, was the lectures. The lectures were really good, and they were like weekly, and that would be like my entertainment for the week. I always liked the lectures. As an educator, you have a moral responsibility to help people and not hurt them. So you need to be really careful with the type of content that you release. So it needs to be something that's close to your heart and meaningful to you, and something that you can explain in detail. I don't know where I was. Yeah. As INFPs, we idealize this perfect education system, and when we find that the education systems that are around us aren't perfect, then we get disappointed, and we even might want to try to make it better and recommend things to the administrators, because we're trying to improve everything for everybody. We're very empathetic people, and we want the systems that are in place to work for everybody. So we want the system that's in place in schools to reach our ideal, and they don't because they're flawed. So then we put in effort, likely, to resolve the flaws that we see. So we say, oh, there's this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. We can resolve it all by creating open source university or something like that. And even though that ultimately failed, it kind of didn't, because it got my point across. Thank you for watching this video on INFPs in education. As an INFP, it is important to recognize that education is a powerful tool for personal growth and development. While traditional educational systems may not always align with our values and needs as INFPs, there are many opportunities for self-directed learning and exploration that can help us thrive and grow. Remember that education is a journey, and it is okay to take the time to find educational an educational path that feels authentic and meaningful to you. Whether you choose to pursue formal education or educate yourself on the topics that are most important to you, know that your unique perspective and creativity are valuable assets that can help you to make a positive impact on the world. Thank you for tuning in to INFP Reflections. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to leave a comment below about your own experiences with education as an INFP. We would love to hear from you.